At the moment, West Africa is seeing a digital transformation. To actually ensure that we actually have a healthy digital transformation journey, we need to ensure that the valued asset that is required for that journey, which is data, is absolutely important. One of the goals for Ecowas from a digital perspective is to have a unified single market. For that to make sense, we need to ensure that we have data. And in having data, we need to ensure that the data that is used in Nigeria, that is used in Benin, in Cote d'Ivoire, in Guinea-Bissau, in Cabo Verde, across West Africa can be moved in a uniform manner across borders.
And this is also because if you look at a lot of the use cases of data in the region, they represent one of the largest stakeholders there. So in terms of their role in making sure data is used responsibly and also for the benefit of people, while also ensuring that there are no harms, first, they have to think around complying with existing legal obligations that exist across multiple laws. For some of them, they also operate in multiple countries. So they need to think about what their obligations are under these laws to protect people, but also to do business responsibly.
Specifically because the Act mandates that every public institution is a data controller and must necessarily have data protection professionals to drive compliance within their organizations. So the Commission has been championing this, training professionals for the private and public institutions. And currently, the Commission has trained over 1,500 professionals who are assigned to these institutions to ensure that they drive compliance, draft policies that will help institutions comply with the provisions of the Act.
I think the private sector plays a very essential role with data protection in West Africa. I say this because the private sector is the one who implements data protection. While we're regulated, we're the ones who ensure that the data that we process of our clients, civilians, any of our customers, we ensure that we treat it with the utmost respect in accordance with applicable law.
And one of the first key things that private sector companies have to do is to instill public trust, because again, you're collecting a lot of data and you have to make sure that the data is well protected and you can visibly be accountable to your regulators.
Maintenant, les prochaines étapes, c'est justement d'aligner notre législation nationale par rapport à cet acte additionnel de la CEDEAO. Et ce travail a commencé il y a quelques années. C'est-à-dire de revoir, de mettre à niveau la loi sénégalaise sur la protection des données personnelles qui date de 2008 par rapport maintenant aux nouvelles évolutions technologiques, par rapport également à l'adoption de nouvelles normes au niveau international sur la question de la protection des données personnelles.
It is important for us to have that integration because it will not only bring about the regional integration and the free, but it will also bring trust because you cannot regulate something that is beyond you. For example, if a data center sits in Senegal, I have the confidence that my data is secured, and Ecowas will be able to regulate because it is within the Ecowas. But if my data is sitting somewhere in Europe, will Ecowas have the power to regulate that? No.
Capacity building generally is a problem across the continent. Legal and regulatory frameworks to really guide the responsible use of data is still a challenge. So as a country, what we have decided to do is focus on responsible use of data and putting together the guidelines that are progressive and then help all stakeholders to make do of the opportunities that comes with data.
We are going to be those that are going to monitor the process. So we want to ensure that everything that is agreed upon is what is in fact done. We want to monitor, and where either the government or private sector are veering away from what was agreed upon, we're able to call them back and say, hey, this was not what was agreed on, or the way that you're implementing this is wrong and is affecting the people in so and so way.
I think when you have forums like this where you're conversing with key stakeholders in the private sector, public sector, and also CSOs, I think it goes a long way in continuing and shaping the narrative.
So we are getting support from GIZ to help us put together a comprehensive data governance strategy for the country. And then we're also working on legal and regulatory frameworks by such that there will be some form of enforcement, but also capacity building around the same, so that the true value that comes with the data economy would realize as a country.
The main outcomes I'm hoping for, number one, is a better understanding and coordination as ECOWAS, as our sub-regional body, to bring us together, civil society, state actors, and the private sector to work together within a multi-stakeholder governance model to promote data governance as a tool for public good within our countries.